All right.
The first step of coming into the shelter is to sign in at the volunteer sign-in station, which is in the corner of the Kittery hallway back here. When you come into the shelter, the first thing you need to do is clock in at the volunteer sign-in station. You're going to use your PIN number to log into Volgistics. If you don't have your PIN number, just come up to one of the desks and we can provide that for you. All volunteers should be wearing a green volunteer shirt and getting their name tag, which are located in these bins. My name's Katie, and we're going to show you how to properly clean a cat's cage. The first thing that you'll need is your food cart. We have 3 sections in the cattery. We have section A, section B, and section C. So if you notice, I'm going to be working with part C, which will pertain to section C of the cats. What you'll have on each food cart is a box of gloves. You're also going to have a pen. You'll have our disinfectant, which is called trifectant, which is a yellow spray, a jug of water, and then all of the cat food that pertains to the section that you're helping clean in. At the bottom of your cart, you'll also have a box of clean hand towels and a box of clean toys that you can distribute to the cats while cleaning. The first step to cleaning cages is you need to verify with the staff member which cats you are authorized to clean in your section. Any cat's cage that says no volunteers or staff only are cats that it should be only handled by the staff. Today we're going to be practicing with a cat named Fonzie, and he is for any volunteers to clean, so he's okay for us to clean today. What you're going to see on all the cats' cages is a name tag, which should have their name. Fonzie has a double condo, meaning not only does he have this section here, but he'll have a section at the bottom we're going to be required to clean. So it's really important to pay attention to the name tags, as there might be multiple sections per each cat's cage. So your first step to cleaning the cages is making sure that you're wearing gloves. You should be wearing a pair of fresh gloves for every cage you clean. It's important to keep in mind you're going to be handling soiled objects, and we want to avoid as much cross-contamination between the cats as possible. Your gloves will be on your food cart, so you want to make sure you put your gloves on before you start handling your cat. Your next step is to open your cat's cage, and to open the cages you simply press the button and that will release the door. The easiest thing to do is either to put your cat's food in front of your cat or to maybe try to call your cat up into a different section. The cats can be divided off into different sections using their divider. I'm going to call Fonzie up into one of his small sections and very gently close his divider so that way he's sectioned off from the area that I'm going to clean. It's really important to make sure you do this very slowly so you don't catch a cat's tail or foot in their divider. Once you have your cat sectioned off in a divided area, you want to remove all the old food trays. It's really important to pay close attention to how much food is left in these trays, because at the end of cleaning we're going to fill out a monitor card. This is going to be a way for staff to keep track if the cats are eating and properly using their litter boxes. As you can see, Fonzie has eaten all of his food from the prior day, so I'm going to throw these away in one of the trash cans. Your next step is water. So all the cats have a water bowl. What you want to do is, again, pay close attention to how much water the cat drank. We want to make sure all of our cats are drinking enough water daily. What you'll be required to do is to dump the entire water bowl into one of the water buckets. Take a fresh hand towel from the bottom of your cart and wipe out any residue. It's really important to not spray any type of disinfectant on the towel you're using to wipe out the water bowl. From there, you take your water jug off of your cart and fill it up to the very top and place it back in the cat's cage. Once you've thrown away your food trays and replaced your cat's water, we now need to clean the cage. We're going to be using the disinfectant called trifectant. It's very important when you're using this to spray it directly on your hand towel and not in the cage itself. We're going to spray it on the hand towel, and then what we're going to do is wipe down any of the ledges to make sure we're getting any old food or residue off of the cage. You're going to have to use some elbow grease when it comes to this. We're going to get all the ledges. We're going to get the front of the glass door as well, making sure that you're wiping down as much of the residue as possible so that way it's not left in the cat's cages. Fonzie's first section is completely cleaned. We've thrown away his food trays, replaced his water, and wiped down his ledges. This is going to be the section that he eats in, so I'm going to put his food in his cage. All of the food trays should be labeled with the cat's name. Make sure if you cannot find your cat's food tray, you talk to a staff member first, as some of the cats are on special diets. I'm just going to set it right down here in an area that he can easily get to. From there, what I'm going to do is close the cage and let Fonzie into this section so I can work on another section. The next portion of cage cleaning is the living section. So this is going to be the area that the cats are going to have a lot of their bedding in. What's very important when you clean the living section is to make sure you're shaking out all of the laundry into the trash. That way we're going to throw away any loose litter, potential food trays you missed. We want to make sure the cats are living in a healthy, clean, comfortable environment. So I'm going to take Fonzie's bed, take out any of the toys, and shake any loose litter or debris over the trash can. I also need to shake out the towels that are lining the bottom of his cage. Try to avoid setting the bedding on the ground. Try to either hang it over top of the cage door or on another shelf in the cage. Use your judgment call when it comes to the toys. If any of them have food or look yucky, we'll place them in the dirty bin and we can replace his toys with clean toys. So I'm going to take all of his bedding out of his cage and again shake it over the trash can. What you'll also need to do is make sure all of the cat's bedding is clean and dry. If you notice anything's wet or covered in old food, we're going to place it in the dirty laundry bin and get fresh bedding out of the clean laundry. It's also important to wipe down any of these ledges just like we did in the top section of any loose litter or caked on food. I'm just going to brush this loose litter into my hand and throw it away in the trash can. We're also then going to, just like we did in the first section, use the trifectant, spray it on our hand towel, and wipe down the glass fronts of the doors and his condo ledges. Again, you're going to want to put some elbow grease into this. Once Fonzie's cage is cleaned, we're going to replace all of his bedding. We're going to line the entire bottom of the cage with a towel and then stack it with additional bedding. From there, we can replace Fonzie's bed back into the cage, make it nice and comfy, and put his toys back in an area that he can easily get to. And from there, we'll move on to his litter box section. The last section is the litter box section, and this is going to take the most amount of work. What I did is I divided Fonzie off so that way he can work independently in his litter box section. Generally, the litter boxes are housed in one of these small compartments. Most of the litter boxes are going to be made of the disposable litter boxes, so any of these that are made of cardboard, we're going to throw the entire box away. There's also a towel that lines the litter box compartment. Just like we did with the other bedding, we're going to take it out of the cage and shake any debris, like loose litter or loose feces, into the trash can. Again, use a judgment call. If you notice any urine or feces on your towel, we're going to place it in the dirty bin and get a fresh towel. Our clean laundry is usually kept in bags that will already be set out in the cattery for you. We want to make sure we get a large towel that's going to cover the entire bottom of the compartment, such as this towel. You can go ahead and set your clean towel over top of your compartment door to keep it off of the floor. As you can see, we have a lot of loose debris like litter. I'm going to sweep that into my hand and throw that away over the trash can. From there, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my hand towel with my trifectant on it and wipe down the bottom of the compartment. I'm then going to line the bottom of the compartment with a towel. Make sure the towel is as flush as possible. Like so. We need to replace Fonzie's litter box. Since he had a cardboard litter box, we disposed of it. Litter boxes will be pre-made in one of the bins sitting out in the cattery. We're going to take one that's already filled with the litter and place it back into his litter box compartment. I'm going to go ahead and set the clean litter box back in the compartment and then securely shut the door. Again, to shut the doors, you want to press the button in until you hear it click. So to clean the last section of Fonzie's cage, since it's kind of higher up, I can go ahead and utilize one of the step stools. The last step is the last compartment. So since Fonzie has a double condo, he's going to have a small compartment for each large section. We just cleaned the litter box section, so this top section is going to be used for bedding. It's going to be the same process we did with his living compartment. We're going to remove the bedding, shake any debris out into the trash can, and use a good judgment call in regards to any soiled or wet bedding and replace it. It looks like a lot of his bedding is clean and dry. I'm going to go ahead and shut his door, press his button in until it clicks, and then I'm going to go ahead and close his divider so that way he has access to his entire cage. Once we've completely cleaned the cage, we need to fill out the monitor card. This is a way for staff and volunteers to make sure the cats are eating and properly using their litter boxes. The monitor cards are going to be held in one of the slots, usually right behind the cat's bio. This is what one of the monitor cards looks like. It goes by day and there's certain sections. There's a water section, stool meaning feces, urine, vomit, and URI signs. What you are required to do is either put a check or an X if you've noticed any of these while cleaning the cages. For example, we noted that Fonzie drank water, so I'm going to put a check in his water section under the Sunday because we're cleaning on a Sunday. I did not notice him vomiting or if he had vomited, so I will put an X. From there, what I'll also do is I'll put my initials. That way if a staff member has questions, we know who to refer to. I can then put the monitor card right back in his slot for tomorrow. Time while cage cleaning, if you've noticed your cats have thrown up, have not eaten anything, or appear to have loose stool-like diarrhea, please not only monitor it on the card, but inform a staff member. We want to make sure, because of the stress of this environment, that we're staying on top of all of the cat's individual needs. It's really important while cage cleaning that you guys are checking the bins that you're throwing items away into. One of the bins is going to be for soiled laundry, so that's primarily going to be for things like towels, blankets, and beds. The other bin will be for trash. So that's going to be litter boxes, food trays, and gloves. If you need to replace bowls or toys, we ask they do not go in the laundry bin. They actually should go in one of these gray bins that will usually be sitting by the front desk. As you can see, there's some dirty bowls and toys in that bin that we'll disinfect later on in the day. When cleaning your section, you'll be assigned a section. We have section A, section B, and section C. Fonzie is located in section C. That's going to be indicated on his cage. So you'll see section C followed by his cage number. Generally, the staff will let you know which cats you should not be cleaning in your section. These are usually cats with some type of medical or behavioral issue. They are also going to be indicated by the signs that are on their cages. For example, this cat here has a staff only sign. It also says no volunteers. Also, she has a sign on her cage because of her medical condition that she needs to be cleaned last. So she might have a different cleaning process than the normal cats. The staff will certainly let you know what needs to be done differently with these cats if you are asked to clean them. You're going to see different types of cages in the cattery. These white cages are usually referred to as towers. They're going to be cleaned the same way, but they're set up differently. For example, you're not going to see separate compartments. It's just one large open area. You're still going to use your trifecta to wipe down the ledges. You're still going to replace the litter boxes and the bedding, replace the water and the food, but as you can see, the setup is a little different. So it's going to be more of an open setup with the same cleaning procedures. This cat's name is Chipper. As you notice, there's no signs on the cages that indicate only staff is responsible for cleaning him, but he does have a cage card that states that he's an escape artist. If you see one of these cage cards, it's really important you work very slowly, as these cats like to sneak out of their cages. If at any time you guys need extra litter, we have litter available in one of these bins. We usually use one of the metal bowls to scoop the litter. As you can see, this cabinet says footstools, and if I open it up, there's a couple stools that I can utilize while cleaning. Once in a while, you're going to encounter a cat that has a plastic litter box versus one of the cardboard ones. This takes a little bit more cleaning. We're not going to throw away the plastic ones. We're going to completely clean them out and refill them with litter. The first thing I'm going to do is take all of my litter and dump it into the trash can. From there, what I need to do is, using my disinfectant, spray out the bin and thoroughly wipe it down. Well, you want to get all the urine, feces, and dried litter out of the box. Once our litter box is completely clean, we're going to refill it. Generally, it's 2 scoops of litter per cat box. We can then replace the plastic litter box back in the cage. Your disinfectant should either be hanging on your cart or over top of one of the bins. Also, it's very important while cage cleaning, you should always be wearing gloves. When you move on to another cat's cage, you need to remove your gloves, place them in the trash can, and then put on a completely clean set of gloves for your next cat. Another thing to keep track of is your trash bins. They can really easily overflow and get too heavy. We're throwing away a lot of litter, which can become very heavy. For instance, if I pull this trash can up, we can see that the weight of the bag is getting pretty heavy. At this point, I need to tie off the bag, ask the staff member where we're currently placing any of the trash that will be taken to the dumpster, and then replace my trash bag with a clean one. They're usually in a box out in the cattery area during cleaning. When helping clean, each section is going to have their own materials. Each section should have a laundry bin, a trash bin, a bag of clean laundry, which is going to include towels, beds, and blankets, and then your feed cart. Your feed cart, again, will have your disinfectant, a box of gloves, a water jug, a pen for your monitor cards, and then at the bottom, we'll have clean hand towels and clean toys. At any time, if you notice something on your card and you're not sure if you put it there specifically or if it's clean or dirty, just go ahead and automatically assume it's dirty. You get it. The bottom of your cart will be a box of clean hand towels and a box of clean toys. At any time, if you run low on these items, just ask a staff member. We can take you into the kitchen area and show you where to restock them. Thank you for coming in and volunteering your time with the cats at the Baltimore Humane Society.